Uh, did you ever wonder what happens when a new chapter of a story leaves the past behind entirely? Before diving in, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to stay updated on all things entertainment. Now, let's talk about Reacher Season 3 and the curious way it seems to rewrite its own history. Picture this. Season 2 ends with Jack Reacher, the stoic yet charismatic drifter, bidding farewell to Carla Dixon, his latest romantic interest. Their relationship, well, brief and complex, carried the weight of mutual respect and the hint of what could have been bottom. Fast forward to season 3, and suddenly Dixon is a distant memory, wiped clean as if she never existed. And instead, we tackle a new romantic dynamic with DEA agent Susan Duffy. Everything seems fresh, yet there's a quiet unease to how quickly the previous season's connections have evaporated. And then in the climactic moments of season 3, Reacher parts ways with Duffy in what could only be described as a shrug of acknowledgement toward emotional attachment. Her exit is amicable, yet abrupt, and setting the stage for new possibilities in season 4. But what's baffling is the way the show brushes aside Dixon's impact, which felt meaningful in season 2 for a series so masterful in constructing layered storytelling. This cavalier approach to past relationships strikes an odd note. That it's like being halfway through a book only to realize someone tore out a handful of pages. And the funny thing is, this isn't the first time Jack Reacher has been on the losing end of a breakup. Duffy's decision to walk away echoes Dixon's own departure back in season 2. Remember Dixon? She was the one who delivered the classic move of politely ending things while playfully hinting at introducing Reacher to her parents someday, a bittersweet nudge toward an alternate reality where it might have worked out. Even further back, the dynamic with Roscoe in season 1 followed another familiar pattern. Chemistry that ultimately fizzles because Reacher's lifestyle just doesn't allow for permanence. Even so, these endings didn't feel like erasures. They lingered, like the way Roscoe left him her number scribbled on a candy wrapper, a small, poignant detail that spoke volumes. The trouble with season 3's approach is that it skips the emotional consequences altogether. When Duffy broke things off, Reacher's surprise suggested that the romantic fallout from Dixon had been forgotten, or perhaps overshadowed by a string of nameless, unspecified connections in between. In most cases, Reacher has been the one calling it quits on his terms, often with a carefully calibrated mix of charm and distance. It's almost as though he's perfected a breakup script, something to soften the blow while maintaining his stoic cool. But this time, being on the receiving end caught him off balance. And maybe, just maybe, it was a much needed, humbling moment. That brings us to the bigger question. Does Reacher really need another love interest in season 4? The show's now familiar setup, where each new installment delivers a fresh romance, echoes the pattern of Lee Child's original novels. On one hand, it's faithful to the source material, but on the other hand, it's starting to feel like a tired trope. How many fleeting connections can viewers sit through before they begin yearning for something less predictable? And perhaps it's time for the show to chart a new path. And um, what if season 4 took a break from romantic entanglements and focused instead on telling a more grounded, emotionally rich story or plot twist? What if an old flame like Roscoe reappeared, throwing Reacher off his game in a way we haven't seen before? Reacher has done a remarkable job of captivating its audience thus far, with creative twists and memorable villains, adding depth to its straightforward yet compelling narrative. Season 1 drew viewers in with its crime procedural roots, while season 2 stirred the pot by weaving in pieces of Reacher's past. And in season 3, the shift toward an undercover operation added a layer of intrigue, even as the romantic subplots grew increasingly formulaic. For a show that thrives on breaking bones and cracking mysteries, maybe it's time to break its own mold when it comes to relationships like this. And here's a lighthearted thought as we wrap things up. Maybe Reacher's got a secret ex-girlfriend filing system somewhere in his head, neatly organized by breakup style. Uh, Imagine if one day he accidentally mixed up the names. Duffy, Dixon, Rose. Wait, which one left me chocolate for the road again? Talk about a plot twist. Talk. With that said, thanks for watching. And until next time,